Industrial water infrastructure, like these massive turbines and dense metal spirals, is designed to dictate terms to the fluid moving through it. Yet, if you inspect the surface of these machines after years of operation, you find severe physical degradation. Thick impellers and pump casings are often covered in deep pitting, scarring, and severe erosion. The damage is intense enough that massive maritime vessels require hours of manual grinding to remove structural defects from propellers that are otherwise solid steel. This damage occurs in the absence of physical debris, rocks, or chemical acids. The impact force is generated exclusively by soft, flowing water. To understand how water eats metal, we have to view liquid as a maintained molecular motion regime, a specific pattern of molecules held together by pressure constraints. These pits are the result of distributed liquid motion losing its continuity under low pressure, then violently rebuilding itself through mechanical force. When liquid accelerates around a narrow valve or the curved side of a spinning blade, it redistributes local pressure and velocity. Flow that moves fast enough eventually spends its entire local pressure budget. Unlike boiling, which requires adding heat until molecules escape, this flow reduces external pressure so suddenly that vapor pockets can survive in relatively cold liquid. This phase failure begins at a cavitation nucleus, a microscopic weakness like a surface scratch where vapor expansion gains a foothold. As flow carries this nucleus into lower pressure zones, the cavity balloons outward, forming a spherical bubble riding along the metal surface. The bubble itself is just harmless vapor. It is merely the temporary geometry that sets the stage for a violent mechanical correction. When the bubble eventually leaves the low-pressure zone, the surrounding pressure recovers. The massive inertia of the surrounding liquid accelerates inward, converging on the void. Because a solid wall blocks the liquid, the collapse is uneven. The bubble's far side caves inward, piercing the cavity to form a shrinking donut wrapped around a high-speed water needle. This microjet strikes the metal at extreme velocity, driving shock waves across the surface. Millions of these repeating impacts fatigue the metal until microscopic chunks tear away. This temporary geometry focuses distributed liquid momentum into a microscopic, point-like projectile. In the water-conducting xylem can become so extreme that gas pockets expand suddenly. This event, plant cavitation, creates an embolism that blocks the transport of water. Snapping shrimp weaponize this pressure failure, closing their claws so rapidly that they generate a cavitation collapse powerful enough to stun prey. Engineering also uses this to its advantage through supercavitation, where a single, large bubble is deliberately grown to encompass an entire underwater vehicle, removing surface friction for high-speed travel. From ship propellers to biological transport, cavitation functions as a predictable mechanism of mechanical power transfer. Medicine uses acoustic waves to drive these bubbles into targeted demolition, shattering kidney stones inside the body through controlled cavitation. The absolute limit of this mechanical focusing is sonoluminescence, where a perfectly controlled standing sound wave traps and oscillates a single bubble. During the high-pressure portion of the acoustic cycle, the collapse happens so rapidly that the internal heat cannot escape, briefly reaching several thousand degrees. The acoustic motion compresses the bubble contents so violently that the event produces an extraordinarily brief, microscopic flash of light. Cavitation demonstrates that a material's impact is determined by its motion state rather than its inherent hardness. Water destroys steel and generates light by using geometry to concentrate its momentum, proving that the strength of a liquid is a function of how its motion is constrained.